Welcome to the Good Talkers podcast. We are so happy to be here with you today, and all the days that you join us on this wonderful podcast adventure. My name is Ashton Haugen. I am joined by the impeccable Deanna Cooney.
Ooh, that's new. I like that. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Hi.
Hi. The incomparable
Oh,
Tessa Livingston.
Incomparable. Oh, I like it. I don't know what I'm doing
And-
right now, but that's fine. Off we go. Next person.
And the insanely talented Jordan Greville from NZ Audio Editors.
Woo!
That's
I should have said
big
also
call.
insanely patient. That's another thing.
We covered that in the last one.
Yeah.
All good. Thank you. Good to be here.
That's true.
Good to be here.
Yeah, we've given you enough praise. We're
Yeah,
gonna stop now.
Yeah,
that's
well,
enough.
it's done. Yeah, that's enough for the year. For the year, I'm pretty sure.
Does anyone else get uncomfortable being praised?
Yes.
No, not
Hmm.
anymore. I used to.
I think it's a problem for me. Like I should
Yeah.
be more okay with it, but I'm definitely like, oh, now I feel like I need to say something nice. You know, it's
Yeah.
one of those
Yeah.
ones.
I-
And we shouldn't have to. We definitely shouldn't
No.
have to, but yeah.
Deanna and I have both got our finger up.
Yeah, you go first.
I have been working with a really good trick on this for years, and it's just learning to say thank you when
That's
someone
exactly what I
says
was
that.
going to say.
Great. So you just go, thank you, that's really kind. And you just have a prepped phrase until that prepped phrase no longer feels uncomfortable.
Hmm.
That's what I've been
It's-
doing
it's-
for
okay.
years.
It's basically
Yeah.
exposure therapy, right? Like
Mhm.
you're just forcing yourself to receive. It's because that's all you're doing, right? You just
Mm.
receive it.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
choose not to say anything, choose not to like offer a compliment in return, like no like obligation based kind of
Mm.
response. Just like, thank you. That's lovely.
Yeah.
And it's weird and hard and uncomfortable. Like just saying that is weird and hard and uncomfortable. But like
Yeah.
if you practice that, that gets easier. Like you get more comfortable with that particular bit. And
Mm.
then when that's comfortable, you get to start like maybe responding in some way. Like something that I like to add to it is a bit of a return kind of nice thing, right? But not out of, I don't like doing it out of discomfort. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, I love your hair. Like that's just weird.
Like, oh, I got it for $10. This thing, oh, it was on sale.
Yeah, and diminishing is like
Yeah.
is not a great option either, because that makes the other person feel like shit for like even offering you the nice thing.
Mm.
You know?
My issue is more of like I'll get a compliment, and instead of doing that, I'll make like a face. Like, for example, Ian, my boyfriend, he will go and he'll be like, hey, he'll like introduce me to people I don't know. He'll be like, hey, this is my girlfriend Ashton. I'll be like, oh, nice to meet you. And he'll be like, yeah, isn't she like so beautiful? Or he'll say something like that. And I'll make like the most ugly face. I'll be like, that?
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
he's like, see how beautiful she is? You see?
This feels like a little
Um,
bit for you too. Like a.
But it's like I just feel so uncomfortable like receiving a compliment that
Mm.
like I just like my body like just like goes
Does
into
weird
freak out
shit.
mode. Yeah, and like and it's I don't like that I do it because it's like I'm trying to prove that he's wrong. Like I'm
Yeah.
not, that thing.
Mm.
And it's
Yeah.
not a humble thing, but it's like I have
No.
to prove that compliment is like wrong.
Invalid.
You know?
Mm.
Yeah, invalid. Yeah, it's so
Right, that's
weird.
that's what
Such a
we do.
weird
We
response.
invalidate the compliment.
Yeah.
You know, I like to try and think about it as I'm actually accepting it for the other person.
On their behalf, right?
Like, well, what I mean is,
Oh.
Not
like,
making
when
them
I
feel
say
uncomfortable.
yes, it's not for me, it's for them. When
Yeah.
I say thank you, that's not about me, it's about them.
Hmm.
So if
Yeah.
if someone gave me a gift, right? Like, and we have to teach our kids this, right? Because sometimes they get gifts that they don't like very much. And when they're little, they go, oh, really? Like, right? And when someone gives
Yeah.
you a gift and you go, oh, that's a pretty shit gift.
Mm.
Like that doesn't feel good as a gift giver, you
No.
know? And compliments are like a gift. They're a little present that someone's like spat out their mouth at you. You know?
Oh.
And
Yeah.
and so like I feel like if I can think about that from their perspective, like, oh, they've They've thought this thing, this is what they think, this is what they believe. Whether I agree with it, believe it, back it is kind of irrelevant, really. This is something that they want to offer, and for me to accept it is for them, not necessarily for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a great perspective. I love that, actually. Because, yeah, then if I could get that perspective, maybe I wouldn't be invalidating other people's nice gift to me, which is
Right.
not a good thing. Yeah.
It took practice, and I'm still pretty bad at it. Like I'm not good at it. I still have all the inside, like, no, don't say nice things to me, kind of thing going on, right? But it helps. It's given me a tool that I can use. Like when that feeling comes up, I'm like, oh, not about me, about them. They had something that they wanted to say, and it was a nice thing, so I'll just say thank you.
That's a really interesting conversation for us to have, because our topic today on the podcast, actually, we're going to be talking the good talk about the opposite, which is rejection. Today we're going to be talking about rejection as an actor, and a lot of things that have to go on with that. It's an unavoidable part of an actor's life. We've all faced it multiple times. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we face it, strategies that we use, all kind of stuff. To start off, does anybody have a particular rejection story they would like to share? All right, Tessa, kick it off
Did
for
my
us.
hand go up faster?
I
So
mean,
fast.
really fast.
So fast.
Really fast, yeah. Because actually this was quite a complex little situation I had a little while ago. So I am still, but at the time working for Big Mouth. So I'm on the agency side. I'm doing bookings, administration, all those bits and pieces. And a job came up for a company where they wanted someone to do a lot of work for them, which was going to total quite a good amount of money. And at that moment in time, I was like, yeah, definitely need that. That would be awesome for me. But I wasn't even on the short list. The client had come back with 6 voices that they wanted, and lovely Sarah McLeod from Big Mouth Voices decided, she was like, oh, you've suggested these 6, I'm going to suggest my own 6, because she's a great agent and that's what she does, puts her people forward. So I was on that secondary shortlist. I was in that one, and everybody had to audition. So, we all did the audition scripts, and then they came back with 2 of their favorites, and it was one from the proposed scripting list, audition list, and then me from the other one, which was really exciting. So we then had to audition again with additional feedback, and the difficult thing on that was that I saw what they wanted because I opened the email first, and so I knew what they wanted from both of us, and I was like, oh, that's really tricky. So I passed it off to somebody else to make sure that they organized it and did it that way. And then what ended up happening was that I was privy to the whole experience of coming second out of that job. So that was it was really tricky, because I had my other tasks and jobs to do, which is responding to clients, putting forward audition, like all kinds of things. And so I had a first row seat to coming second on a job that was had quite a large monetary value. So that was a very interesting experience in rejection.
Yeah, because usually we don't know when we come second, third place.
No.
We just know who's chosen, or sometimes we don't even know that. We just know we weren't chosen, or assume, because we never hear back. But to know and have an eyeball to the behind the scenes, yeah, I don't think I would like that at all.
No, that was rough.
I regularly know where I sit in the shortlisting kind of process. Not always, right? But
yeah.
Regularly enough, my agent will come back to me and say, oh, it's down to you and another person.
Oh, we do that as well. Like if we've got quite a competitive short, it's not like, oh, there's 10 people and it's the first time the client's seeing these people. If we'll definitely let people know as well. But it was just because I also know specifically as to why I didn't get it, and I know specifically why the other person did. So that was
great.
It's fabulous.
That information.
It's fabulous. But as actor Tessa, not subjective or objective Tessa, looking at all the opportunity, everything that's in it. In the moment, the rejection level felt very, very high because I knew all of the details.
Yeah, so there's pros and cons to
There's pros and
knowing
cons.
why you got or didn't get something as
Yes.
opposed to you didn't. Because honestly, like, yeah, my ego, I don't know how they could take the amount of rejection that like an actor faces regularly, um, with knowing like exactly why I didn't get it. It would be very hard, but also at the same time, yeah, like maybe I don't know. It would be nice to be able to hear, like look at it objectively.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's so weird. Yeah.
I reckon feedback is the thing that shifts something from rejection into a useful piece of
Totally.
useful experience.
Yeah.
Right? So like I will always, always, always take knowing over not knowing. 100% of the time. If I ever get the opportunity to ask a person or get some feedback or ask for their rationale behind their processing, 100% of the time I'll take it, because there's nothing in that that can't be utilized personally, either to have me understand, oh, I was not even in the ballpark, right? Like what they chose. I mean, I was in the ballpark, but what they eventually chose is very different to me. And that happens all the fucking time, right?
Yeah.
Usually when I'm shortlisted, and it's me and another person, the other person's not the same as me. They're different to me. By the time you get to that point, right, the people are probably pretty different and doing different things. So if I can find out that, I can go, oh, okay, that's why I didn't get it, right? They decided to go in that direction. That makes sense to me, right? And if I find out that I didn't get it because I wasn't good enough, now I know what the gap is and I know what I need to fucking get better at.
100%.
Like immediately. And every day of the week, that's beneficial for me. Knowing what the gaps are and whether I choose to get better at them or not is also a separate kind of choice. Because maybe I look at it and go, oh, actually, I'm not good enough for that. And I don't have the time or the capacity or the interest to get better at it. So I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to focus over here. It's always, always, always useful. Information every day of the week is going to be beneficial for me. When you're in it for the long game, right? If what you want to do is be around for a very fucking long time, then rejection is only rejection if you don't learn something from it, I reckon. That's how I frame it anyway. Right? And I can learn something from everything.
Absolutely. For me in that particular scenario, and I think it would be fair to say this of most people, rejection is also relative. So it's very relative to how you are feeling at that moment in time. And that moment of time when that offer was near me and I was so close to it, I was desperate for the money. Absolutely desperate for it. And because it was such a large sum, the rejection felt so much harsher because I was this freaking close to it. I was one person in a boardroom fighting for my voice rather than somebody else's. So and I think it also depends on how you're doing emotionally at the time as well. Like if you're feeling much more rejected by other things or other situations, that coming through as well makes that so much harder.
It's also we work in an industry where a lot of times this rejection, it's not personal, but it sometimes feels very personal.
Oh yeah.
Because they're talking about maybe qualities of your specific voice, which is a part of you. You know what I mean? And so how do you separate it feeling personal but not being personal?
I love mine and Deanna's hands are just like, bang, boom, boom. I have a theory. I got to go first last time. Deanna, you go first this time.
Oh, thanks. The way I do it is by looking at what I do as my craft and the things that I use to generate my craft and engage with my craft are my tools. And that's the same whether if I was writing, right? My tools are my brain and my fingers and a pen. If I'm wood carving, my tools are the carving implements and my creativity and my brain, right? If I'm creating a fucking spreadsheet, right? My tools are the software and, my brain and stuff, right? So for me, the qualities of my voice, yes, they're me, but they're not personal because they are what they are. If I want to change them, I've actually got the capacity to change certain elements of like those pieces of me if I want to, right? And over time, that's what happens. We change, we move, we shift. That's the other thing. This shit has changed so many fucking times in 30 years. I can't even begin to tell you how often my ability to utilize my tools and engage with my craft has shifted over time, right? So yes, it's personal because it's my body and it's my brain and all of that kind of stuff, but they're tools and I'm using them for a particular purpose and outcome. And it's my craft.
Yeah.
So when I stay engaged with that, I'm much less personally ego-based self-value, because that's what that is, right? When you talk about the rejection being really personal, really what we're talking about is our own sense of our own value being compromised, right? And so I don't attach those things anymore to my sense of value, my personal value, right? So if someone says, I don't like the sound of your voice, I'm like, cool. But also, just so you know, I've had a lot of evidence that my voice is fucking banging and that I can do lots of cool shit with it, right? So, like, that's also, I just want to declare that, like, not only have I been doing it for long enough that I've been able to build that objectivity into the way that I function, I also have lots of evidence to support that things work and they're really, really good when the things line up, right? When all the planets and everything line up and it all works and everyone says yes, that's fantastic, right? I've had enough of those experiences now to know that when I get a no, it's not the end. It's not about me. There's something else coming. And that makes it easier. So if you can cultivate that mindset as early as possible in your career, it's very, very fucking helpful.
Extremely. Mine was exactly the same. It was very because like I do this with whenever I teach kids voiceover or like voice kind of stuff. The first session we do is that you have to go away and you have to write things people have said about your voice on a piece of paper. And then if they feel like sharing, which most of the time they do, as soon as one person shares, and it's always something like, oh, I sound boring. Like and then I'm like, who else has had that? And it's like, oh my God, and like hands go up because there's lots of, or like too nasal or too squeaky or, whatever it is. And then what I do with them is that I draw a line on the other half of the board and I go, cool. So when someone says you're squeaky, this is the mechanics that cause that. How interesting. And they go, oh. So it's an exercise in separating who you are as a person with your voice from your mechanics of voice. And the freedom people get out of that is huge. So that was a huge thing that I have taken into stuff like that, is objectivity of craft.
Love it.
Yeah.
I often get like, it's hard for me sometimes because a lot of the time the rejection I get is because my specific voice print isn't right for whatever it is. And like the person in me, the actor in me, I'm like, no, I want to be such a versatile actor that I could be right for any part,
Yeah.
It's not a thing,
and that's not necessarily true. But the thing is that my voice is excellent for some other things that other people's voices are not excellent for. I have a very high-pitched voice. I have a voice that lends itself very well to children's content. Very easy for me to do. And then animation, like I can get high and do like crazy voices, which is super fun. And that's not great for a lot of things. Like I don't excel in commercials a lot of time because my voice is not a commercial sounding voice. And have had to make my peace with that. Like in the past year or so, it doesn't matter how many good commercial skills I could get. It's that my voice print is not what's trending in the commercial space right now.
Yeah, can relate. And not so much from a voice perspective, although I'm the opposite, right? Like I definitely don't belong in children's voices, really. Like I probably could do some specific children's, like definitely there's some things that I can do, but it's not a forte, it's not a strength, right? As an actor, as a screen actor, that's 100% been my experience. I am short, muscular, quite androgynous in the way that I look. And coming up as an actor in my 20s, it was a fucking nightmare. I'd walk into like audition spaces and nobody looked like me. Nobody looked like me. And it was really, really, really challenging. But like there's baptism of fire, motherfuckers, like this is where I learned how to manage myself through this kind of stuff, like just constantly, consistently being shown, not just in audition spaces, but also in the work that was out there that I was like experiencing as a consumer. I just didn't see people like me at all in the space, and that definitely played into my feelings of rejection as a whole person when I was younger, definitely.
Yeah. So what would you say to your younger self if you could say something about rejection? What would you say?
Well, I would say that it's just part and parcel of the process. You are, and I say this to young people all of the time, or people early in their career, even if they're older, right? Like you are choosing to enter an environment where you will be judged on your looks, your sound, all of those things about you. And if you just if you make it about you as a person and your value as a human in the space, you're fucked. So like, if you can't separate those things, don't come into this industry. It's not for you.
Yeah.
I think I was actually talking about this the other day with someone else who's a acting agent. We're having a really interesting conversation about the way that people get stereotyped in this industry based on look or sound or any of those sorts of things. And I think it's definitely important to acknowledge. I think it's an awesome exercise to sit down and go, how do I stereotypically show up in the industry? What's the realities of that? And then
Right.
also in conjunction with that going, yeah, these are my stereotypes, but what are the special things I can also do? What are the special things I
Yes.
can also add? And then fusing them and challenging it by going, well, this is the stereotype. Maybe I could be stereotype adjacent because it's not that, it's not that big of a gap. So I think for me, knowing those realities and being okay with them because I have these extra other skills would have been something I would have liked to have talked to myself about, because I remember being at acting school and being flat out told that I probably won't get a lead role because I'm not thin enough, and that was a huge thing to hear. But I was like, but I want to be the romantic lead, and they're like, oh, you probably won't be, so we'll make you the funny best friend, because funny best friends are always that cat. And I was like, oh, okay. And that was hurtful to hear from an industry professional, but they're not being mean, they're being realistic. But what wasn't put alongside that is going, well, yes, this is the reality, but who are you inside this? It was hard.
I think also something to keep in mind is everything changes all the fucking time. You change over time, industries change over time, trends, what's popular, what works, what doesn't. Like everything now is so different to what it was 30 years ago when I first started being an actor and doing this kind of thing. Like it is radically different, and I am radically different. Right. So that's the other piece that I would be saying to a younger version. And I do say to people as they're coming in, right, like be patient, because everything changes. Right. Just because you're not the hottest flavor right now doesn't mean that like next week suddenly you like a version of you becomes a hottest flavor and then all sorts of things open. You don't know. And I think the most important thing that you can do is work on your craft and be open to opportunities, like to just get out there and do things.
Exactly. Because if you're not getting out there and doing things and being open, if you're not getting rejected a lot, you're not putting yourself out there enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Perfect.
If you're not getting
You'll always get a
rejected
no.
constantly,
Yeah.
then you're not pursuing enough opportunities then.
Yeah.
And even opportunities that may be outside of the realm of what you think you can do, still go after those, because you never know. They could say yes. You never
Also
know.
resilience, right?
Yeah.
And I think what rejection also, if you can figure out how to work with that rejection, what rejection actually does is actually sends you on a path towards something that will say yes to you. Like just keep, like I've had so many rejections with my voice teaching career. I built courses, I did all kinds of stuff, and nobody freaking bought it. Do you know what people are buying? Demo production. I didn't think 2 years ago that I would be doing that in the slightest. But because I keep getting rejected and I keep having to learn how to pivot, this is where I've ended up, and it's the coolest thing. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is so exciting. I think, I can't remember where I was going to go. Aha! It's gone. Oh, no, it's back. But it didn't really fit in. But I can...
Say it anyway.
I'm just going to say it. So my brain just absolutely left me. I think something that's really important to do with dealing with rejection is actually just experiencing the emotion as it happened. I think so many times people try to positive swap. Be like, no, it's okay. It doesn't matter. No, it's okay. I'll get something better. Fucking cry. Oh my God, cry and be upset and be hurt and feel those feelings. You can't move on until you've done it, I think.
100%. You have to metabolize that shit. Right? Yeah. Because if you hold on to that by laying toxic positivity band-aids over the top of all of your like actual experiences in life, two things happen. Lots of things happen, right? But two things happen. One, the shit that you hold on to becomes like bitterness and resentment, and that's a fucking disaster. Okay. And two, feeling your feelings makes you a better actor.
Yes.
That's true.
Get that embodiment.
100%
Feel
true.
your fucking feelings, right? Learn from it. This is the other thing. Like, this is what I mean by everything is an opportunity to develop your fucking craft. When you're an actor, literally everything that happens to you as a human being is an opportunity to develop your skill set. Everything. So rejection is not just your shit go away. It can be a learning experience on so many levels, right? Just exposing yourself to rejection on a regular basis builds your resilience for that kind of thing. And that's going to increase your longevity in the industry, you know, like it's just, and what Ashton said before about like, if you're not getting rejected enough, you're not putting yourself in front of enough spaces, right? Like you've got to be on the fucking, you've got to be in the race, right? Every time you don't show up, it's going to be a no.
Yeah, exactly. You can't win any of the auditions you don't do. Or, you know what I mean? Or are afraid to do. You know what I mean? The worst thing they could do is say no. But, I mean, that's probably not the worst thing. There could probably be a
Some rough things have been said in audition rooms, I bet.
But most of the time, they're just going to say pass. You know, that will be the worst of it most of the time. No, I forgot what I was going to say.
I think that one of the things, something just popped up for me, and that is, and we started to talk about it before, and it's the not knowing part, right? Like when you get the no, and you get a like, no, not this time, or no, you didn't fit, or no, we've gone with someone else, right? At least you've got an answer. Not having an answer can be a bit more challenging to navigate, you know, because that's not the same as like, oh, I've got some information that I can work with. You've actually got an absence of information if you look at it that way. You're still actually getting information, right? If you choose to look at it as an absence of information, it can start getting a bit more challenging to deal with, I guess.
And most of the time in my acting career, a lot of that time, it honestly doesn't bother me most of the time. If I never hear, most of the time I'm able to send out an audition and literally like have the skills to like forget about that it ever existed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if it comes back and then surprise, you got it. And then I can be happy.
Yeah.
But then sometimes once in a while, there's an audition that comes along that you get really invested in and that you really want, that you think you'd be great for. And then you don't hear back from that one. And you're sitting and waiting and wondering, hey, did I get it? You know what I mean? And those are the ones that you're like, that kind of bum you out. Because like you either think you're really right for it, or you think it's just a fun, cool opportunity or a really great project that you're excited about. And then you don't hear anything. That's the one that hurts. Most of the time they don't hurt. But every once in a while, there's that one that comes along that, I really wish I could have got that one, you know?
Yeah. I thought that I hadn't gotten something like that recently. Well, it was a year ago now, right? But I auditioned, and it was a screen project. I auditioned, and they were supposed to be turning around responses really, really fast because like it was shooting really, really soon and all of that kind of stuff. And I didn't hear back, and I was just like, oh, that's it. I didn't get it. Fuck. I was so disappointed, and I spent a day being really fucking sad, like just, man, I really wanted that. They told me it was so right? And then a week later, they called me and said, I got it.
So you were sad for nothing. Yeah.
But also
it's
sad for
interesting, right?
reason.
Because, but also like the point of that is that you actually don't know how long it takes for people to come back to you. And that's a bit challenging as well. Because now I'm like, oh, I accepted that I didn't get it. And then I got it. That means next time, do I like not accept that I didn't get it? Do I just keep holding on for longer? Like, what do I do?
False sense of security, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, go around. I think what is a really useful tool for this, and I know it won't be accessible to everybody, get an industry job. Get an industry job. If you want to understand what rejection is and what it isn't, get an industry job. I have never felt more secure in knowing about how auditions work, how people get cast, all of those sorts of things by working on the other side of the line. Like it's I auditioning for things now, I'm just like, oh, I did that, and they're going to come back for XYZ reasons, and majority of the time it genuinely has nothing to do with you. If you have the opportunity to shadow someone for a week who works in the industry, works in casting, works in audition submission, like any of that sort of stuff, do it, because it'll just open your eyes to the fact that waiting by the phone and feeling rejected is not the right way to do things, because you have zero control. Sometimes it's about the client's budget. Sometimes it's about someone who has extra weight in a client's room throwing their weight around and then getting a selection over probably the person who might have been better. Like you have zero idea. If you have the opportunity to work in industry, do it. That'd be
Such a
my
good
advice.
perspective.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is such good advice, because you're right. A lot of times it has nothing to do with us. You're right. It could be budget. It could be the fact that they changed their mind and they want a different gender all of a sudden. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That stuff happens a lot. So
All the time.
I was
Yeah.
pending for a job the other day, for quite a big job, and they came back. And again, privy to the fucking emails. We'd actually like a male person now. And I went, awesome.
Shit.
I can't do that. And they also wanted a Māori male, and I am neither of those things. So like it had nothing to do with my performance, with my audition, anything like that. It was that the client came back and said that they wanted a different gender and a different demographic. Done.
And there's nothing you could do. Like there's no part of yourself that you could change or be better at to make that outcome different.
Especially against that guy. He has the most deep, beautiful fucking voice. Like I can't even pretend to get there. If they wanted a more masculine sounding female, yeah, man, I can figure that out. No worries. Couldn't compete against that guy. He awesome. There's nothing I could do. Nothing.
You know, something else that happens is that, you know, we think about rejection from the like audition kind of perspective. Do I get the job or do I not get the job? But once you work with somebody, if they keep coming back to you for a while and you build a relationship with them and you become one of their brand voices or something like that, at some point they're going to stop using you.
Yeah.
That's a whole different kind of rejection.
Yes, we had that experience with someone just recently who'd been voicing for ages, and Deanna, you'll be able to speak to this too, and she was crushed.
Yep.
She's gutted.
I've lost some big stuff, like I've also, so like, you know, I was the voice of Red Rooster for like 10 years, you know, and so when they decided to, and they went with a male voice, and that softened the blow enormously for me.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't switch to another, like a younger version of me or a different version of me. They went for a male voice. I was like, okay, fair enough, fine. Sad, devastated that I lost my brand, you know, thing. But they went in a completely different direction, changed agencies, and that's when it happens often. A brand will change agencies, and the people at the agency will want to make an impression with how like clever they are or whatever, or like they'll be like, I've got this amazing idea and I really want to use it, and it's really normal for people to come into an established space and want to put their stamp on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that happens, right? And often in that process, a whole new voice comes on board, right? So that definitely is a thing. I've had 2-year-long, 5-year-long brand relationships where like they've moved to somebody else from me lots of times in my career, right? But also I have landed brand jobs because I've replaced other people. Yeah. Just as many times, probably more, right? Because it's not like the brands that I've worked for didn't have somebody else in place before I came along. They're not brand new brands. It's not like, oh, here's a brand new brand and we're going to hire you and you're going to be no, someone else was there before me.
Yeah.
And hopefully that person then moved on to the next thing that they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the end for anybody. You just move on to the next thing that you're going to do. Any final thoughts on rejection before we move on to sounds I can't make?
Oh, it sucks, but you learn to get there. You just grow. I think you grow with it. I don't know. I think telling someone to be okay with rejection when they're in the midst of it and when they're still growing as a human and still figuring out who they are and all of those sorts of things, that's really, really hard. But you learn over time to get a thicker skin or to learn how to be more objective, or it just, if you're not very good at it yet, don't be too hard on yourself. It happens. You get there.
Yeah, like give yourself an opportunity to get better at it, definitely. And the way to get better at it is to expose yourself to it lots and lots and lots and lots. And you can do it outside of your workspace as well, right? Like practice getting rejections in all sorts of different ways. You know, like ask for things and be ready for a no. You know, ask for things with no attachment to an outcome. Practice getting your nervous system into such a state where you can like be rejected and be resilient around it. And if at some point you really can't, if you're really finding that like it's just too much for you, it may be that this is not the right space for you.
Yeah.
You know, but give
Yeah.
yourself time. So I agree, Tessa. Like,
Mm.
certainly don't go, oh, I can't handle rejection. I can't be an actor or a voice talent or whatever. Like, you can absolutely learn. It's a skill.
Yeah, and some people have it quickly. I didn't learn until I was in my 30s, which is only 18 months ago, how to deal with rejection really well, you know, like, and actually that's because I got an industry job. That's how it worked for me. You know, some people have high resilience straight out the gate and some people don't. And if you're not one of those people just yet, only thing I can advise is don't negative emotion stack. Well, I got rejected, therefore I'm shit, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. Like, let's just sit with the rejection. Don't add anything else to it.
Yeah, no.
Put on The Office in the background, have a cry, feel better. It'll be okay, love. It'll be okay.
Watch The Never Ending Story. Have a good sob fest. Yeah.
A
Or
training.
E.T. or like any of those, you know, like 80s, 90s movies that like just epically pull the heartstrings. Just chuck one on, grab your favorite comfort food, wrap yourself up in your favorite blankie. Just like give yourself a moment.
You'll
And
be
then
all
when the
right,
moment's
love.
done,
And then get the
Then,
fuck on
yeah.
with it.
yeah, when the moment's done, then go to the next audition
Yeah.
and see what the next opportunity is.
Haul
and then
ass,
keep
get
going.
up, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Baby
literally
steps.
have like a sticky note on here that says "Don't give up" for those times where it's like
Stunning.
hard. Because sometimes it's you just need to remember to don't give up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just don't
Yeah.
give up.
Yeah.
I have a sticky note that says that just says reps on it at the moment. I know, Deanna, you're gonna flip your lid. So it's basically about like getting your reps in. When something's hard or habit stacking or creating, if it's hard to stick with, get your reps in. Tell your brain that if I just repeat this, it'll become easier. And that's what I do when something gets hard. I go, get your reps in.
Reps. Fucking here we go.
Get your reps. It's all right.
That's genius. I
remember
love
that-
that.
Yeah, it's good.
Everyone's shit at everything at the start, including rejection and being rejected and being resilient. Like, no, like if you're good at something the first time it happens, it's probably a fluke, right? if you're good at something 9 out of 10 times, you're good at the thing, right? But like the first time is not, there's not data. That's an accident. You know, so give yourself time to be shit at being resilient and dealing with rejection well, you know. But persistence is so important, and get the fucking reps in.
Yeah, pick a goal, get your reps. Don't try and get reps with everything. You're going to blow out.
Yeah.
One thing, get your reps.
I like what you said about persistence, Deanna, because I feel like without persistence, you wouldn't have had as long of a career as you have
100%.
had. There's a lot of people who probably think that they want this, but don't have the persistence, and they burn out in a year, 2 years, 5 years. They don't make it to 20, 25 years, you know, in this industry. So I feel like that's a really good place to maybe leave it off on is persistence. Be persistent. And let's do some sounds we can't make. Jordan, do you have our sound ready to go?
I do
Alright.
indeed.
All right.
I do indeed. Let's figure it out, eh? So here we go. This is a woman pretending to be another woman.
Oh, great.
Right. Well, I mean,
Makes
that's
sense.
pretty normal. That's often what's
Ah,
happening.
yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, wow.
It's another day.
That's deep, mate. That's deep.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. Is this actually a woman being a woman being a woman?
Actually, that sounds more accurate, Deanna. Yes, I think you're correct.
Oh, is it?
It's
You
woman
might
with
be
future.
right.
Because that
Yeah.
is not Judy Garland
Or Chapel Roan.
or Chapel
Anyways,
Roan.
play the sound.
Okay, I need an explanation. So, who?
That person is neither of those
That's
people
Rosie Weber,
Oh,
potentially.
singing
wow. What is this?
a
Being
Chapel
Judy
Roan
Garland.
song as Judy
As-
Garland.
Judy Garland.
I question
that's what it
the
is.
value of this content.
I question the value of your pop culture knowledge, Jordan.
Pretending to be Chaplain Rowan.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's not Chaplain Roan. Jordan, I'm going to have to email you some stuff.
Chappelle Rowan.
Oh, no.
I don't
What's
mind
her
about the
name?
Chapel Roan bit. I'm very distressed that you're not quite sure what Judy Garland looks
You think
like.
that's Judy Garland.
I didn't say that. I just was. Yeah. Okay. I guess I didn't need to. I didn't need to say nothing. Whose piece of content was this? Because it's rubbish. It's one person pretending to be another person, pretending to be another person.
No.
What
Jordan,
is
that's
it?
our whole
Just play it
job.
so we can listen to it, and that's what we do. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, in
You-
the
I'm
last
not-
in the
I'm not
last one,
taking
we were
part
like
in this.
pretending to be freaking Jennifer Coolidge, pretending to be like Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
So like, there's always layers.
The sounds
It's
I can't
okay.
make is
It's a
drift.
freaking onion.
This
Tina.
is
It's a
season
freaking
5.
onion.
Sometimes it's hard to find new sounds. Okay, we've been
Yeah,
doing
I
this a
just
really
did.
long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for some.
God, I love
Here
the
we go.
sass that comes out of him sometimes.
Leaving Tennessee is Santa Monica. I swear it's calling me. Won't make my mama proud. It's gonna cause a scene.
That's all you're getting. And what about that crappy audio in there, eh? That bit
Jordan's
of
on his
distortion.
sass.
It's a singer. Come on. If you're gonna sing like someone else, you get a good microphone for goodness sakes, eh?
It's more of the idea of it. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
be Judy Garland singing as Chapel Roan.
I don't think
Yeah.
Jordan's
Chapel
a fan of the
Roan.
idea of
Okay.
anything. Get your specifics, mate.
Chapel
And is it
Roan.
just a Chapel Roan song, like, or is it?
Yes. That's not
Wow.
what Chapel Roan sounds like.
See, I'm
That's
not
not the-
familiar with Chap. Like, I know who she is, but I don't know any other content.
I
You know what?
am
I'm glad
ashamed
I'm
of
familiar
all
with
my
other
friends
things.
today. I
Something has gone seriously awry here.
I feel like I let you
I-
down so badly, Ashton.
I'm
I
so sorry.
Chapel Roan has been like I've been listening to nothing but Chapel Roan for like the past year. I'm gonna by the next time we record this podcast, everybody's gonna know who Chapel Roan is.
All right.
I'm fine with
Okay,
that.
send us a
All
link.
right.
I can.
All right.
Okay.
So, what's the outcome of this? What do we do? Well, I don't think we've
Does
ever.
nobody know this song? Am I
No.
the only
No.
one who knows the song?
Okay.
Okay, well then this was a useless sound.
Fuck it, you can all do it anyway, you shitters. Here we go. I'm playing it again.
I don't think we've ever had this happen before.
Oh no!
Well,
we
really what
definitely
we're
haven't
doing
had
is
one where I was
singing a
so
song.
upset.
As
Really, what
Judy
we're doing
Garland.
is singing
Yeah.
a song
I'll continue
in a
the
Judy
song.
Garland voice.
Do you want to pick the next few words and just sing those? Should we
Yeah,
do
go
that?
for it.
Okay, I'll play this.
She sees her baby girl. I know she's gonna scream.
I don't know what the words are.
I see her baby girl. I know she's gonna scream. Is that what she said?
Is that right?
She sees her baby girl. You know
She-
she's good.
I.
Oh,
She sees her
baby
baby.
girl. She knows
Just
I
very
know
dark
she's
here.
gonna scream.
It's kind of like Oh no, is it the same? Like it's got like a Liza Minnelli kind of like like that kind of like
Yeah.
thing
That's
about
what Judy
it.
Garland's like, isn't it?
Yeah, but
She's
so like
all like this.
ah,
But I feel like this
Ah,
one does sound more like Liza. I think you're right.
yeah,
I
it
think
had
you're
like
right, yeah.
when she said the word like so when she had like high backed vowels, so like that sound and they were very backed, very Liza Minnelli esque.
Hmm.
Oh, it's gone.
What were the words?
What were the words?
The
She
words
sees
are
her
because this is my
baby.
current karaoke song.
Yeah.
Nice.
She sees her baby girl. I know she's gonna scream, God, what have you done? You're a pink
Oh,
pony girl. I'm not doing very good Judy Garland.
I
but-
like it. God, what have you done? Blah.
Wowzers.
She sees her baby girl. It's all that. Is that the right shape?
Yeah.
Oh, I think
she's-
she's gonna scream. Oh, what have you done?
It's all of this in the background.
like anytime I start doing that, I just want to start like dropping into Dorothy, and I'm like, oh no, come out of that because we did that.
Dorothy the
a couple ago.
dinosaur.
Oh my days.
No,
Jordan,
not that
no.
Dorothy.
But also, how fucking cool is
That
Dorothy the
eyebrow wiggle.
dinosaur?
Yeah, I love throwing spanners in work, so it's my
You,
favorite.
you're a
I knew you weren't
champion at
talking
it.
about that, but that would be a good one.
I need to
Dorothy.
find more sounds that are less specific to me. That's what I've learned from
I need to
this. is
find
I
some
need to-
sounds. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah,
I think
you
that would
need
be
to find some
great.
sounds,
I was
Jordan.
just looking,
Just
actually.
toss shit at us.
Yeah, I was just looking at some before. There's a few around. A few
Okay.
around.
All right, good.
Is anybody else going to make a Liza Minnelli, Judy Garland sound
Combo.
combo?
Are you like? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I can't remember the words. What are the words? Ah, she sees her baby girl. My voice
Yeah.
is cracked.
Oh, can you do more of that, Deanna? Oh, I see my
she
baby
sees her
girl. So with you're raising your palate, I think, a little bit and pulling the tongue back in the mouth a little bit further.
No, I cannot. And it's too much. That like totally
Very
like
good.
took my tongue out of complete action.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
pulled it back too far.
it's still quite loose in its backness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sees her baby girl. I think she's gonna cry.
I'd like to hear you as a jazz singer in another life.
Me
I
too.
think I really
I
dug
fucking
that.
love jazz.
That's
I
great.
would sing jazz and Motown till fucking the end of time.
Nifty. I like that for you.
Anyway, that's my best version of that. Moving on.
Ashton, would
Yeah.
you like to have another crack at it?
All the better thing. Okay, so you said it's more space in the back.
Oh, it's a. If you go ong, that sound. Feel that shape there. Oh, that's where that tone comes from. Yeah, there it is. Nice.
Oh, she sees her baby girl. I know she's gonna scream. God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl.
Oh,
so
yes. Nice. That shape was really helpful. As soon as you found that placement, you were like, boom, bang, straight on it. And you didn't drop it on the word girl, which I was really impressed with.
It's hard because I'm trying to just keep I'm sure if I practice that, it would be better. But it's hard to also keep that accent with
Yes.
your
Yeah.
mouth because the accent wants to go this way, but
Yes.
your mouth has to stay this way. So the
100%.
accent wants to go like horizontal, but your mouth needs to stay vertical in order
vertical.
to make that shape.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you went to do your R, because for an R, the base of the tongue has to drop so that it can bowl to make the molar R, the rhotic R. I was like, oh, is the placement going to drop? And you didn't. You flicked it straight back in. I was like, oh, get it.
It's because I'm American and we do our R's. I've got lots of practice with the R sound.
Just a
lots
smidge.
of lots of rhotic mobility.
Oh,
I just
rhotic
made that up. It's good, isn't
mobility.
it?
Oh, I liked it.
Don't say you made it up. That sounded totally legit. I was like, yeah,
like
definitely.
that a
Uh-huh.
lot.
Definitely.
Rhotic
Rhotic
mobility. Oh.
Does that actually make
Ah.
sense?
The fuck is rhotic?
So Tessa, can you explain? It's
Yes,
got to do with
I
it's
can.
a label for the R, the shape.
is
of
a
the
label
R,
for an
but
R.
Tess, explain it. Yeah.
So accents will either be rhotic or non-rhotic, which means that when an R is used in a specific place inside a word, it either will be pronounced or it won't be pronounced. This is
Okay.
not for initial position of words. So like for the word red, red has to be pronounced because it's at the beginning. And if you didn't pronounce it, it would turn into a W. You'd say wed, which means you have a speech impediment. But in medial or in final positions of words, so like burger, for example, has an R at the end, but in my Kiwi accent, burger. I wouldn't pronounce either of them. So we have a
R in the middle as well, yeah.
we have a non-rhotic accent, so we don't use the R's, and Ashton has a rhotic accent, means she
Yes.
does use the R's.
Okay.
But it's
Thank you
also
for
why
everyone
like
else.
people from other languages have a hard time speaking English is because they don't have that motility or that
Mm.
that you said, Deanna, they don't have that practice making that sound, so it's difficult for their muscles in their mouth
Just can't
to
even get
form
there.
that sound
Yeah.
because they're not used to it or they've never made it before. Like
Yeah.
especially in a lot of Asian languages, they have a hard time making that R sound because it's not prevalent in their language at all.
They don't even have it. It doesn't exist. Yeah. Whereas
That's
for
why
me,
some
I grew up with a rhotic R because I'm from
Oh.
South New Zealand.
Oh,
I used to have one.
really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It
Not me. I'm
disappeared.
from Australia. We don't.
Yeah,
use
no, you
rhotic
guys don't
R's
have
in
one at all.
anything.
But the southern part of New Zealand, the lower part, has Scottish influence. Therefore, we have R's. Just not me.
Oh.
Because I'm sneaky. I think my body knew I was leaving and I didn't want to be identified, so I dropped it. It doesn't stop me using phrases like wee bit, though, which nobody ever understands. Can I have a wee bit of that? It's a really Scottish thing to say.
So no
Oh,
one in
yeah,
New
a wee
Zealand
bit,
understands
yeah.
what wee bit means.
No, they don't. I used to say it
No?
in therapy clinics when I was learning to be a speech therapist. I was like, oh, just a wee bit more. And they'd be like, what? And I'm like, ah, shit. Can you do a little bit more, please? Yeah, a little bit more. But yeah,
Wow.
fun facts. Fun facts with
Cool.
Tessa.
There you go. So that's what rhotic is.
Yes.
Thank
Well,
you.
now that we all
That
know.
was good.
what-
Now
what-
everyone knows. Listening,
everyone
including
You're
knows.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yes. What and I think rhotic motility, I think that is a thing. Rhotic motility. That's what you said,
Mobility.
right?
I said
Mobility.
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 It was mobility.
What is motility? That's a different word.
Motility. Oh, that's good. That's a good
It
one.
is
Isn't that
right,
like
though.
you're able to do something, right?
Yeah,
You're-
I thought that's what motility meant.
Oh yeah, the ability of
Mobile.
an organism to move independently using metabolic energy. I just googled it, by the way.
Yeah.
I was thinking mobility because you were able to shift
Mobilize.
that kind of that R backwards and forwards.
Mm.
So like when you were
Mm.
while you were singing,
Oh, I see.
Tessa was saying will the rhotic R stay with the other like oral positions, and it had to shift a little bit, but then you came straight back in or whatever, right? So there was this like ability to be mobile inside of the shaping.
Inside of the
that's
constraints,
where my
the
brain
framework.
went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun facts.
Oh, fun
Mm.
facts. Yeah, really cool. That's a thing now, I guess. We just invented it. If it wasn't a thing before, it is now. So
Good
thank
on
you
us.
very much for coming to our TED Talk. No.
I also didn't. I also didn't tell the overly personal story. I'm gonna have to tell at the beginning of the next one.
All right.
Oh, we missed it. We totally
missed it.
See, so now you're just going to have to come back to the next episode, everybody who's listening, and make sure that you tune into the next episode so you can hear Tessa's overly personal story.
It's
and
quite
this is a
good.
story I don't think that none of us have heard.
I don't
Put
think
it
you guys
in the
know
notes,
because
otherwise we'll forget.
I
Put it
forgot
in the
about
show
it for a
notes.
long time. It's worth it.
All right.
Put it in the show
Tune
notes,
in next
otherwise
time.
we'll forget.
Show notes. Where are the
Show
show
notes.
notes?
Put it in the show notes.
Bye.
Thank you so much,
No
everybody,
joke.
for joining us at the Good Talkers podcast. We're going to sign off now before we get even more rambly, which could happen.
Does
But
happen.
that's not. We're not. So we love you. Thank you so much for joining us. You can reach out to us on any of our socials, except Facebook. We're figuring it out. We don't know what's going on in the world. Or email us. That's a much better way to get a hold of us at thegoodtalkerspodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, we love you. Take care of yourselves and each other. All right. We'll be seeing you. Bye.
Peace
Peace
out.
out.
Bye.
Bye.